No, no, no. It's not work. No. I said do it. It's not work. What's next? You didn't ask. Jake, I'm trying to work. I'm trying to work. Stop. You can tell what What? Jalen, I am trying to work. You are being rude. Go ask someone else. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You did not ask. You did not ask. You went there. Everybody with me. What's up? Trying to get this work done. That's what everybody wants your attention is when you're actually doing something. Isn't that crazy? For the entire day, you're not doing anything of any importance. No one bothers you. No one bothers you. But as soon as you about to get some work done, as soon as you about to get busy with some projects or something like that, that's when everybody need your assistance. Crazy, I tell you, especially when it comes to kids. When it comes to kids, you can't find them when you're not doing anything. They end up being quiet. They probably taking a nap, something like that. They playing in something, all that. As soon as you about to get some work done, or you about to go somewhere to go do something, or go to work or something like that, and that's when they call you. And that's when they got every single question in the world they gotta ask you. Everything is a problem. They need this to be fixed. Something failed, something broke. They crying about something. I swear. Parents know what I'm talking about. Anybody who is a parent of some sort, a grandparent, a guardian, a aunt, a uncle, or something like that. When you're dealing with kids, everybody knows when you're not doing anything. When you're not doing anything, like when you're literally wasting time on something, you can't find them. You may even want to spend time with them. You may even want to spend time with the son or your daughter, or your grandson, or your granddaughter, your nephew, your niece, all that, your cousin or something, and you can't find them. They might not even want to deal with you. They probably asleep, taking a nap or something, living their best life. As soon as you get ready to do something, that's when they pop up for some reason. I believe all children have a radar in their body that tells them the precise moment when you as an adult are about to do something that doesn't include them. Because that seems to be the very moment where all the children wake up, the babies wake up, the babies need a pamper change or they're hungry. That's the moment. That's the moment where all children have that clock in their mind. Like, wait a minute, hold on. There's an adult in this house about to do something for themselves. I can't have that. Let me wake up and bother them, or let me get up and ask my best 50 questions. Let me ask my 50 best questions that I got on the docket for them, and then ask them all at once. And every time they say they gotta do something or take care of something, they gotta go somewhere, I got 50 more questions lined up for them. I dare them to say they can't go. I dare them to say they gotta go somewhere. I got to know what they're doing. I truly believe that all children do that. Because I'm pretty sure I did that. Well, I know I did that. I don't know a child who hasn't done that to their parents or their guardian or something like that. I tell you, all parents know what I'm talking about. If you are a parent or if you are a guardian of some sort, and you got young children around, like toddlers and little children, you all know what I'm talking about. If you're not doing anything, you can't find them. You can't find them, and they probably doing something crazy, or they probably asleep. They probably playing so much they fell asleep. That happens. But the moment you are about to do something for yourself, here they come. Like you don't even hear them get up. You don't hear nothing when they get up. when they're about to do something, you can't hear them. You don't know where they came from. You don't hear them walk up to you. They don't give you no warning. They just pop up out of nowhere with their face all tired, rubbing their eye. They would wake up rubbing their eyes. You know that I have yet to see a child just get up and just go. They rub their eyes. No matter how long they've been asleep, no matter how long it's been, it can been for 10 minutes to 10 hours. They wake up, rub their face, hit you with the and you know it. You know it's about to happen. It always starts with I'm hungry or whatever you have to eat, they're going for that. Whatever you have to eat as an adult, it is illegal in the children's handbook to eat when a child is waking up. Because the moment they wake up as you're eating, just know they're gonna look at you. They're gonna get that sad look in their eyes, that curious what you got look, like that ooh mommy, ooh daddy, ooh grandma, something. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And they hit you with the they hit you with that, and you already know they hit you with that. You already know they saw what they wanted before they even said the word. As soon as they see you, they see what you got, and automatically they gotta share it with me. I have to see a child see an adult eating and just leave that adult alone. I have never seen it before. Somebody tell me in the comments, have you ever seen a child look at an adult eating food and just leave that adult alone? Have you ever seen it? Because that's a rare sighting than seeing Bigfoot. You got a better chance seeing Bigfoot than seeing that happen. Somebody record for me the first child ever, probably in the history of humankind, to walk up to an adult, like their mother or their father or something like that, see that adult eating food, and don't ask that adult for anything, and just like be content. Show me that, because I want to see the first child to ever do that. Because I've never seen a child do that before. So if someone can produce that video, that'd be amazing. Because I swear I think it's illegal. I think all children have like a handbook with them that says on page 42, chapter 5, verses 6 and 7, that any adult you see with food must give up that food to you, even if they ate already. That's the crazy part. Even if the child already ate, you got to give up your food because they're going to ask for yours too. And I'm saying this because I'm pretty sure I did it too. I'm pretty sure when I was a little kid, I saw my mother, my father, or my aunts or uncles, or something like that, or my big cousins with some food. I probably can I partake in the consumption of your food, there, big cousin? I'm pretty sure I did it. Or mommy, daddy, do you mind if I go ahead and dabble in your food? I know you wanted some. I know I ate already, but I just want to taste some of yours too. That never gets old. We never outgrow that. You ever notice that when we were kids, we did that with our parents. How when they ate some, even after we ate, when they were eating something, we still asked for some of theirs. We've never outgrown that. Even as adults, when you have food and your significant other or your brother or your sister or something like that sees you with food, and then they want some of your food, especially with like a significant other. We've never outgrown that. Even when we ate, we still want someone else's food. Let me stop telling them. I'm talking about all this kid stuff. Almost. I got one more drawing to do with this particular commission, and depending on how I'm feeling, I may do that one today also. It's nothing intricate, nothing like that. Just depending on how I feel, I may knock that one out too. Feeling pretty good art wise, feeling like in a good zone art wise, so I may double up. Plus it's still early in the day, so I'm not getting tired at the moment, so I may double up on that. I may have to go ahead and do a little more extra. Y'all can read all about it. Now, this particular picture here, the pictures of the babies were actually smaller and a little lower. I purposely drew them larger and a little higher up to emphasize them along with the father. Because the images that I have, I mean, it's the same image, but I made some variations to it to get it more, get a better effect, I should say. I want to show closeness. I want to show togetherness with these drawings. These are family pictures that I've been given. So I want to really give that look of close family. So I do a little bit of adjusting with the images. I make the babies larger so they be more in the foreground. The pictures are a little blurry, but that's okay. I can deal with the blurry. I mean, I can still make out the features, so there ain't nothing too crazy, nothing I can't deal with. And I know you probably know why is this part right here of the baby's face cut off. That's only because of the actual image itself. The picture that I have, the face was cut off by accident, so I just had to roll with that. That's fine. And I'm assuming these are twins. So if these are twins, the face you see on here will be the face you see here. So you want to know what this baby looks like? Look here. I'm assuming they're twins. I'm assuming. Hello. Oh boy. The hair. The shadows in the hair. How much for a painting? It depends on the size. Depends on the size of the painting that you want. I know for the canvases that I have, right now I have three 11 by 14. I have three 11 by 14 canvases, and those will go for 75. So if you're looking for a 3 by 14 painting, that's $75. And if it's interested, you can DM me if you want more information. To New Jersey? Yeah. I'm assuming NJ stands for New Jersey, correct? If you mean New Jersey, yes. Okay. Yeah. I've shipped drawings to California and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you. And put your name, your actual name, so I'll know to whom I'm speaking, or with whom I'm speaking. I won't say to. That's me to you. Oh, thank you. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you just saw me take care of business right there. That's the one beautiful thing about today's technology. You know, me being 35, I grew up in a time where there was no internet. When I was younger, there was no internet. There literally was no internet. There definitely was no social media. So all the communication I ever had to do for most of my life, to be honest with you, was telephone, phone book, the yellow pages. A lot of kids don't even know what a yellow pages is, but we had yellow pages, landlines, and the only cell phones you had were the real big giant, I mean giant cell phones that you had, like they came like in a leather little strap suitcase, or like the cell phones you had in well, not even a cell phone, a car phone. We had phones that had cars that had phones in them, and that's if you had money. That's if you had money. If you had money, you had that. You know. But for most of my life, there was there wasn't social media. There was no Twitter. There was no internet. As a teenager, there was no internet. Well, kind of. The internet was just starting. Like the way it is now, there was no there was no internet like it is now. There were no smartphones. Like there was no smartphone. There was no camera phones. The first like the first iPods came out when I was in college. The very first everybody got the iPhone stuff. The first iPods didn't come out until I was in college. And there was no Instagram. There was no Twitter. There was no Snapchat. The most that in junior high we had Black Planet. Who's old enough to remember Black Planet? We had Black Planet and the beginning of MySpace. When I was in junior high, we had Black Planet. And the coolest thing you can have was a cool Black Planet page. Like if you had a cool Black Planet page, you were doing something. Like with the cool graphics and all that stuff, and your page was looking real cool, all that stuff. Junior high and high school, it was all about Black Planet and MySpace. Those things have since long gone, but that's what we had. So if I wanted to sell some art, I had to most likely get on the phone and call that person, and we would have to meet up face to face and set up a meeting and all that stuff. Nowadays, I can go on Instagram Live like I'm on now, record myself live doing a drawing, and someone can see it, like just now, like what I'm doing, and ask me, "Hey, how much for a painting?" It's really that simple now. Like it's really cool. I'm not the kind of person who's like, "Oh well, we had to do such and such. It was much harder." It's much harder because the technology wasn't there. I'm pretty sure if we had Instagram and Twitter and all this stuff and Facebook Live and all that, if we had all these live stuff back when I was in junior high and high school, people be doing the same thing they're doing now. And nothing changed. The same things we're doing now, people would be doing back then. So anybody who telling you, oh, it's harder and stuff, that's only because the technology wasn't around then. If we had the same technology back then we do now, people doing the same things. It'd be the same gossip stuff. It'd be the same school fights you'd be seeing. All the same stuff we doing now. It'd be the same stuff going on then. It nothing changes but the technology to capture it. That's all. And nothing has changed except for the technology. That's basically it. The technology has changed. Human nature has not changed. Human nature has not changed since we've been on this planet. It's just the technology has changed. We have not. The technology has. Just imagine if Da Vinci had Instagram Live. Imagine Leonardo da Vinci going on Instagram Live doing a painting, and someone from where he was, someone from Spain. Someone from Spain saw him on Instagram Live and said, "Buongiorno." Not buongiorno. Yeah, buongiorno. Yeah. How much for a painting? Imagine if the Medicis saw Leonardo da Vinci on Facebook Live and said, "Hey, we want to sponsor you." That's what he did. The Medici family sponsored Leonardo da Vinci by word of mouth. Imagine if Da Vinci had Instagram Live during the Renaissance, and the Medici family saw him and said, "Man, he's good. I want to sponsor him." That's all that happened. That's all that happened. Or imagine if Columbus, first of all, screw Columbus, hate him. Imagine if King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain heard about a sailor from Italy, and say, I need 3 ships. DM me if you're interested in sponsoring a young sailor. Because he sailed in 1482. He sailed with Portugal. A lot of people don't know that. Everybody know about 1492 with Queen Isabella and Ferdinand of Spain, King of Ferdinand of Spain. A lot of people don't know about 1482 with Portugal. A lot of people don't know that. It's all just the technology changed. You went from carvings and homing pigeons to writing on scrolls to individual pieces of paper, binding them up, putting them in books, to newspapers, which is like a portable paper, to radio, to television, to computers, to portable TVs. Who knows remember the portable TV? I remember the portable TV. We had a small television that you had to put giant double D batteries in, like 4 or 8 of them things in there, and you had a portable TV. We went from portable TV to portable phones. Y'all see a trend? Y'all see a trend here? Everything is portable. Everything that was giant and cumbersome and just labor intensive to carry has now become portable. Everything you know of is now portable. The first calculators were not handheld. They were giant supercomputers funded by the military that were made smaller because they were easy to carry. And if you think about it, and then it became the calculator, the portable calculator, which we used to have when we were kids. Now you have your smartphone. Your smartphone is literally a computer, a television, a calculator, a phone book in your hand. There's more computing power in your smartphone than the first computers that were the size of a house, the size of whole buildings. The first computers ever made were giant. Now you have more computing power in your PS4 than NASA did 60 years ago. Just let that sink in. Just let that sink in. So to have someone come on Instagram Live and watch me draw and say, "Hey, do you paint? How much for a painting?" And then a transaction, a deal is made right here live. So it's a marvelous time we live in. If technology is used correctly, now a lot of people use technology for horrible purposes, which is a shame. But if technology is used correctly, it is a marvelous tool. Marvelous tool. If used correctly. So hopefully this person here who just sent me this, actually DMs me and we actually can get things going. Because I did this commission. I'm doing this commission because someone saw me do a drawing of someone else. I forgot who I was drawing actually. And I posted it, and the person liked my drawing, and they said, "Hey, I'd like to commission you to do a drawing of such and such." I said, "Okay, fine. We can do that. We can do that." And when they see that I can do work, they see I got the skills to pay the bills. They said, "Oh snap, we want to give you more work." That's what happens when you are doing when people see you do your job, when people see you working, see you doing your thing, and you have proven that you have the skills that warrant payment. Basically, people will pay you. When your skills are at a point where people appreciate you to the point where they say, "You know what, I'm willing to pay this person to do this," whether it be art, whether you're a plumber, electrician, whatever it is, whatever skill you have, get it to the point where people want to pay you to do that job. And if you do a job well enough and consistent enough, and your work continues to be consistent or improve, people are willing to pay you. People will pay for quality. I don't care what it is. People will pay for quality regardless of what it is. People go to the most expensive restaurants, not because it's expensive, because of the quality of food. That's it. If the quality of food is such that people are willing to pay hundreds of dollars per plate or whatever it is, but the quality of food is warranted, people will pay for it. Hence the expression, if you build it, they will come. As simple as that. If you build it, they will come. If your skills are to a point where people are willing to pay, people will come to you and pay. And if your standards are the same, are consistent, if you have excellent standards, if you produce great work consistently, people are willing to pay whatever you're willing to charge because they know this person's standard is worthy of payment and I am willing to part with my money to do it. It's just that simple. But it takes time. It takes time to get to a point where people are willing to pay. No one just comes out of the gate and says, oh, I'm willing to pay. No, it takes time. Anybody who is paid to do anything, chances are they have worked at that particular craft for a very long time. A very, very, very long time. There were many times where they weren't getting paid for it. Like myself, there were times where I wasn't getting paid for this. Many, many times. But you gotta work. You gotta earn the right for people to part with their money. Because no one's just gonna part with their money just because you say so. No. No one's gonna just say, hey, pay me to draw. No one's gonna do that. You have to prove yourself first before they say, you know what, I'm willing to pay you or I will pay you. Excuse me. When people come to you, that's when you know you're worthy of it. When people come to you for your services and they say, I'm willing to pay you for your services, then you can say, okay, you know, I've reached a certain level. Or when they ask you how much do you charge, you have reached a certain level in your skill set, whatever that skill set may be, where people see you as, you know, worthy and marketable and competent in your skills. That they say, you know what, I'll pay him. He does such good work. He's consistent, and yeah, I can rock with that. How much you charge? Okay, cool. And the more consistent you are, and the more you have demonstrated over a long period of time that you can maintain a fan base, your skills haven't diminished; they've actually improved. And if you can also show that you can do more than one thing. I was told a very long time ago, this is some of the best advice I've ever gotten in my life. And the advice I was given was never invest on something that can only do one thing. That was some of the dopest advice I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm going to say it again. Never invest in something that can only do one thing. And the logic is pretty simple. If you buy something that can only do one thing, what happens when you no longer have need of that one thing? You're stuck with it. You're stuck with it. That's basically it. You're stuck with it. But if you invest in something that only has one thing, why do you think cars never go out of style? I don't care how many kind of variations you have. Cars never go never go away. Why? They do more than one thing. Yes, their main purpose, they have a main purpose, which is to transport you or items from point A to point B. It's travel. But also it is a form of shelter. When it's raining outside and you have nowhere else to go and you're in your car, shelter. To keep you warm. You know, so it's a form of shelter. It's a form of transportation. So it does more than one thing. Therefore, you invest in it. Transportation and shelter. You can't eat a car, but the two main things, transportation and shelter, you got it with a car. Why do you think horses and carriages went out of style after the automotive car was invented? Horse and carriage went out of style because you got to feed a horse. It takes money. It's not as efficient as a car. You don't have to feed, when you have to feed a car, you got to feed a car, you know, gasoline, or it's still got maintenance, but the maintenance for a horse is much more expensive than the maintenance of a car. Plus, if a car dies, you can get a new battery and build that car back up. You can't rebuild a horse. Once a horse dies, it ain't coming back. Plus, you didn't have to worry. You don't have to worry about cleaning up the waste of a car. Horses make waste. Cars don't. So it's very cost efficient for a car than it is a horse. Therefore, they call it the horseless carriage. The first cars were called the horseless carriage. Then you call it the automobile, self-moving, even though you're the one actually moving it, but still. Simple as that. Why? How come the radio isn't as popular as it was when the TV was invented? Because you got a chance to see what you were hearing. The radio can only do one thing. You only can hear something. You only can hear what the person was saying on the radio. You couldn't see the person. You couldn't even see what they were talking about. You just had to hear it. When the television was invented, you can hear and you can see what the person was talking about. So if you had a story about a sports game, a Super Bowl happening, and you couldn't see it on TV, it just don't have the same effect. Once you can see it, it meant more to you. Same thing with smartphones or flat screen TVs. The first TVs were giant and bulky. I remember those. Why flat screen TV so popular? Not heavy. You can carry it farther. Don't take up a lot of space. So it does more than one thing. Plus you can still hear and see the stories. So never invest in something that can only do one thing. I'm an artist. Notice I said artist. I never said I was a painter, illustrator, because I can paint and I can illustrate. And the word artist, I always say before, the word art does not mean paint. That's the big misconception. The word art does not mean paint. It does not mean draw. It does not. The word art literally means skill. If you look up the origin of the word, the etymology of the word art, it comes from the Latin and French origin ars, A-R-S. The word literally means skill. It means you had a skill. And a skill is something that you are proficient in, that you were taught. You are taught a skill. A talent is different from a skill. A talent and skill are not the same. A talent is an innate ability, meaning something that you were born with. You have a natural ability to do that no one had to teach you to do. That's a talent. Okay? A skill is something that you were taught. You may not be talented, but you can be skilled at something. You can be taught how to draw. Despite people may say, you can be taught how to draw. Okay? That's a skill. A talented person can become skilled at something. You don't have to be talented. Like basketball isn't a natural thing. It's not natural. You have to be taught to play basketball. It's a skill. It's a skill set. That's why they have the expression, the lost art of the mid-range jumper. Who ever heard that expression? The lost art of the mid-range jumper. If you pay attention to that sentence, they're actually saying the lost skill, because the mid-range jumper is a specific skill in the game of basketball. So it is the lost skill of the mid-range jumper. The word art means skill. And the better your skills, the more people willing to pay for it. So never invest in something that only do one thing. I can do in the realm of the visual arts. This is a visual art because you see me doing this. Visual arts. I have more than one skill pertaining to the visual arts. Yes, I can draw, as you can obviously see. I can also paint. I'm a painter. That's another skill I have. So if someone ever asks, can you do a painting? I can say, yes, I can, because I can paint. and my skills in painting are sufficient enough that people are willing to pay for my painting or for me to paint something. But that piece of advice I got right there: never invest in something that can only do one thing. This is the coldest piece of advice I've ever got. That right there, I carry it with me everywhere. Never invest in something. So just think about that. The next time someone decides to spend their money on something, think about the investment part. It says never invest in something that can only do one thing. If that thing can only do one thing, should you really spend your money on it? Because once that one thing is completed, you no longer have a need for it. All of the things that cost the most, you can do multiple things with. You want to buy a PS4? It's a computer. It's a television. It's a game console. It has a main function, but it also can do more than one thing. The main function is the selling point. The add-ons are the investment. Oh, that was dope. That was dope. What you purchase a car for is transportation. That's what you purchase it for. The add-on benefits are if it's raining outside, I can keep warm, I can keep wet, and I can keep dry, I can be safe. If I need to move something, I can put it in the trunk or in the back seat. Transportation. Yeah. So mobility and transportation. I can carry myself, I can carry luggage, I can carry another person. See that? So multiple things. So remember that. Never invest in something that can only do one thing. Why how come fast food places never go out of business? I mean, unless it's some kind of controversy. How come? One, you're buying food, so that's sustenance. That's something to sustain you, keep you alive. Two, inexpensive. Three, gives you your food faster than maybe a sit down restaurant. That's why it's called fast food. The time it takes for you to walk in a fast food restaurant, order something, get your food, and pay for it is far less than a sit down restaurant. Now, there's a trade off when it comes to fast food restaurant, and what is that? The quality of food. Fast food restaurants have substituted quality for quantity. You can get the most for least, even though what you get may not be maybe as healthy for you. It may not be beneficial for you health wise. However, if you're looking to put something in your stomach to keep you alive for a longer period of time, for longer, then you go for something that's inexpensive, especially if you don't have a lot of money. If you have a little bit of money and you want something to eat, the most pragmatic, most practical, the most logical explanation or the most logical choice is a fast food restaurant: McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, etc., etc. If you have the luxury of time and if you have the benefit of financial freedom and you just want to enjoy good quality food, it may cost you, but the benefits, health wise and experience wise, is far greater. It may cost you more and it may take longer to prepare, but the benefits in the long run you gain far outweighs fast food. So there's a trade-off with both. but they both have benefits that make sense. Hence why they're still around. That's why there aren't a lot of home cooked meals. A home cooked meal is, far more beneficial because you get to eat what you want instead of, what the menu has or what you can afford. You get to eat what you want. While at the same time being comfortable in your settings. Because if it's a home cooked meal, chances are you're in a comfortable setting. You may not be in a comfortable setting at a restaurant, or you may not be in a comfortable setting at a fast food restaurant, a fast food dining place. But if you're at home, you're comfortable. You're eating food that you're comfortable with. You're around people that you're comfortable with. So, you invest in time and you invest in people. The biggest asset you have is time. It's the most important asset also because you can lose money and get it back. You always hear about people saying spent the check and I got it right back. You've never heard someone make a song called "I Spent Time and I Got It Right Back." You've never heard it. You will never hear a song called "I Spent Time and I Got It Right Back." No, you will never hear that because once you spend time, you cannot get it back. It's the one asset that you cannot live without and you cannot get back. So it makes time the most expensive asset. Time is the most expensive asset because you cannot get it back once it's gone. What's today? July 4th, 2018 will never come again. Let me say it again. July 4th, 2018, once it is gone, will never come back. February 26th, my birthday, 1983, will never come back. So, time is the most precious asset. So, how do you compensate your time? Because once you lose time, you can't get it back. So, what is the best compensation for you when it comes to time? Losing time. If I lose time, what can I get back in exchange that can appease my appease time? Yeah, like what's the best way I can compensate myself for the loss of time that I can't get back? And that depends on you. And if you have a skill set such as I, one of the ways you can compensate your time and your effort and your skill and your energy is through the exchange of money, goods and services. I provide a service with these goods here, and people compensate me for my service through the exchange of money. I provide a drawing, they provide money. Or I provide a drawing, I provide a painting, they provide an opportunity for publicity. They provide publicity. They provide word of mouth. Because if more eyes and ears see me, that means I have a better chance of connecting, I have a better chance of being compensated more for my skills. That, in a nutshell, is how business is run. I provide goods and services. The customer and the provider. The buyer and the seller. And it's all about the compensation of time. How do I compensate time for time? How do I do that? That's how it go. Now the dog is outside the door barking and want to go outside. I swear. Now the dog can't leave me alone. If y'all hear that, y'all hear the little whining out in the background, that's the dog. That's Midnight the dog. That dog will always come to me if she wants to go outside. Everybody else is in the house though, relaxing, having a good time. but she will bypass everyone to come to the door